what we said is that he was digging a borewell in the forest land. What came on record in terms of the Sthal Panchnama is that there is no protest in the Sthal Panchnama by the forest authorities, and the revenue authorities came to a conclusion that it is not a forest land, it's a revenue land. But it's one error which I would like to point out, which has happened maybe because of the mistake of the council, my lords. If I may just point out in my application, page number 15 may be seen, my lords.
Of the present application.
The present application for recall, my lords. Now that's the copy of the Sthal Panchnama, which was also the part of the.
आधे अधूरे पेज नंबर है.
That is IA1. That's the copy of the Sthal Panchnama dated 1/7/2018, my lords.
ये document था क्या petition में available?
That is what I was coming to, my lords. If I may just point out with firstly with the document.
Whether this document was part of the record?
This was a part of the record.
पढ़िए वो annexure बताइए ना, फिर नया document क्यों file कर रहे हैं?
No. Why we are filing, my lords, is what has happened. We've also taken a categorical pleading. The document which was filed in the petition was very vague and not readable, and the typed copy which was filed did not bear the signatures and what was written above the signature. So if I may just point out for a minute page 15 only first, because that's a better copy of which can be read by me. Page 15 is Sthal Panchnama. Now my lords have come to the conclusion that in the Sthal Panchnama the forest authorities did not object to it. Now my lords, on the left hand side down, if I may just see Panchnama मेरे समक्ष, if I may mark it in my
हाँ देखा है.
पंचनामा मेरे समक्ष लिखा गया, परंतु मेरे कहने के बावजूद मुन्नारे जीपीएस दिस मस्ट बी प्रोटेस्ट का उल्लेख नहीं किया गया. Now, and this is the forest authority, my lords. The forest authorities objected to it. Now, my lords, may come for a moment to page number.
Who filed this page 73?
Petitioner filed it.
It was petitioner who filed this document.
जी, उन्होंने भी फाइल किया था, but I'll just come to that.
Apart from आपके रिटर्न में आते ना, आपके रिटर्न
में नहीं फाइल किया था.
रिटर्न में आपने क्यों नहीं कहा पाया आप?
My lords, रिटर्न में we tried saying this, but the document which was there in the record, so we did not file that, my lords.
अरे, then did you say that this note is material which was not mentioned?
Not specifically. If I may just point out, my lords.
बताइए, रिटर्न से पढ़ के बताइएगा.
My lords, I'll just point out that, my lords. Paragraph number 5 and 6 of the return. Paragraph 5, we have narrated what has happened on that fateful day, my lords. And then the power which has been given to the authorities. Paragraph 6, in the present case, the petitioner's borewell and supported truck was found in the protected forest compartment number P978 of B. Chitang in forest range CD. The aforesaid bore machine and the supported truck found between boundaries pillars Munnare 90 to 93, where bore machines found by the forest officials in operative condition. Therefore, the forest official registered the forest offence against the petitioner. Further, on preliminary inquiry of the said forest offence, as the bore machines and supported truck was prima facie involved in the forest offence, therefore the authorized officer perused and information in prescribed form and information of confiscation proceeding.
नहीं, आपके ऑफिसर साहब ने इसमें तो कहीं लिखा नहीं है ये वाली बात कि आपने जो है ये मुन्नारे की बात जो है आपने ये प्रोटेस्ट कहाँ लिखा है कि आपने प्रोटेस्ट किया था जब स्थल पंचनामा बनाया गया 118 को? ऐसा कहाँ लिखा है आपके अधिकारी ने?
If I may just point out what has happened in this case, all this was considered by the two authorities.
नहीं, we are not governed by your authority. You are required to show that when this objection was taken in your WS, that though the concerned forest official objected to the Sthal Panchnama and yet it was prepared, showing it to be a revenue land, where it is mentioned in the reply. And how can you travel beyond your pleadings? And then if your officer had made some objection, then he was required to approach superior revenue authority saying that this Sthal Panchnama is not acceptable to us. अपना गलत छुपाने के लिए किस extent तक जा सकते हैं? Now I'll be imposing cost on you.
सर मैं एक निवेदन करना चाहूँगा सर, एक बार पेज नंबर 22 पिटीशन का देख लें सर, which is an order by the judicial authority only. Now we tried our level best before the competent authority.
अरे हमारे सामने क्या हो गया था? आपके ऑफिसर इंचार्ज क्या हो जाता है उनको? उनकी शक्ति निकल जाती है क्या? कि बिगर पढ़े जो आते हैं सरकारी वकील साहब के पास कागज पटक जाते हैं, बोले जो समझ में आया बना लीजिएगा. इशू सिंपल सा इशू है. आपने पॉइंट ये उठाया कि जो स्थल पंचनामा है उसके ऊपर आपत्ति है, उसके क्या कॉनोटेशंस होते हैं. पहली चीज, यू शुड हैव मेंशन्ड इट इन योर WS. 1, 2, you should have raised this matter before the superior revenue authority that this Sthal Panchnama is not acceptable to us. आप दोबारा से डिमार्केशन कराइए, ठीक है. इसकी अपील लगती है ना 250 की.
अपील तो लगेगी सर 250.
तो फिर क्यों नहीं कुछ नहीं किया आपने आज? क्योंकि आपके ऊपर अकाउंटेबिलिटी आ रही है इसलिए आप ये सब कागज लेकर चले आए.
नहीं, मैं सर एक निवेदन करना चाहूंगा. Though we have filed as many as 10 documents establishing the fact, but at a later stage that the land belonged to the forest department and not to the revenue department, and that is why the POR was registered against this present petitioner, and then the confiscation order was passed. हम इस पंचनामे का
क्या करें? हम शासन की एक अथॉरिटी और दूसरी अथॉरिटी के बीच के झगड़े को थोड़ा निपटाने के लिए बैठे हैं. When there is no uniformity in decision making between the two authorities, that is the नायब तहसीलदार तहसील चुरट and what is this RD सिंह क्या है, एक्सो क्या होता है, किसके साइन है इसमें? नाम तो पोस्ट तो बताइए जिन्होंने साइन किए हैं.
If I may just read the relevant portion of the Honourable Court order. Why I have only placed my reliance on just one IA number 1. My lords came to the conclusion in that order dated 2nd of August 23 is at the last internal page number 2 last paragraph. In absence of any material being brought on record and there being no challenge. My lord's order.
Learned government advocate for the state reading from the order
It's the last paragraph.
in absence of such material.
Of such material brought on record, and there being no challenge by the Forest Department to the demarcation report contained in Annexure P7.
ये तो लिखा है मैंने, क्या गलत लिखा है? आप बता दीजिए कहाँ चुनौती दी थी आपने?
मतलब page number 63 and 64, what has happened in this case? 63 was not legible. आप एक बार 64 देखें sir.
अरे भाई,
It was, I bow down to the mistake which was committed at that point of time.
you recover it from your officer जो जवाब बनाने के लिए आए थे.
Even,
अरे भाई, even if it was not legible, it was a document from your record as you have produced now as IA1. Your officer in charge should have brought that record and should have pointed out कि साहब ये document गलत लगा हुआ है, and you should have raised a specific plea about it. Therefore, I asked you to read from your WS that please show me from WS that you had taken a plea that the demarcation report was objected to. You had a remedy of filing appeal. Appeal was filed. You did not accept the. This is what I have written. देखिएगा. Heard on IA.
we filed as many as.
ठीक है. आप वाला केस सुन रहे थे ना? डॉक्यूमेंट्स तो 100 थे, लेकिन रिलेवेंट बात का कोई जवाब ही नहीं था.
इसमें सर
आप लोग सोचते हैं कि आप लोग सोचते हैं कि आप कोर्ट को जो है दाएं बाएं ले जाएंगे.
नहीं सर, एक बार पेज नंबर 74 देखिए.
हम भी वहां रहे कई साल तक.
तो एक बार पेज नंबर 74 देखिए सर.
74 देख लिया ना, कितनी बार देखेंगे?
उसमें दे डिड नॉट मेंशन.
अरे अगर नहीं है हमने मान लिया, उसमें वो फेंट है, वो 74 में देख लिया.
टाइप कॉपी है सर, उसमें वो नीचे का सब कुछ गायब है सर.
नहीं, तो ये किसकी गलती है? ये इसका जो है इट इज अनरीडेबल. स्थल पंचनामा का जो है पेज 73 पे आपकी जवाबदारी थी कि आप जब जवाब दावा बनाने के लिए बैठे तो आप ये कहते 73 ये नहीं है साहब, ए नहीं है, बी है, इसमें ये नोट है और इस नोट के ऊपर कोई कार्रवाई नहीं की गई. आपने यही तो हमने आपसे पूछा था जवाब दावे में बताने के लिए. खुद कुछ करेंगे नहीं. कोर्ट से सारी उम्मीदें हैं आप लोगों की. लिखिएगा इसको, कितनी कॉस्ट के साथ खारिज करना है और बता दीजिएगा.
सर मैंने सर
कॉस्ट तो लगेगी फॉर वेस्टिंग टाइम ऑफ दिस कोर्ट.
सब
रीजंस के साथ में लिखिएगा. हर्ड ऑन IA 13124/2023 एंड एप्लीकेशन अंडर ऑर्डर 47 रूल 1 CPC seeking review / recall / modification of the orders dated 2/8/23 passed in WP number 13855/2019. Full stop. Next para. Shri Rohit Jain submits that petitioner had not filed complete set of Sthal Panchnama as is available on page 73 of the faint copy of Sthal Panchnama as available on page 73 and incomplete typed copy as available on page 74 of the petition. Full stop. He has filed correct Sthal Panchnama, correct, complete and legible Sthal Panchnama as contained in Annexure IA1 to point out that at the time of preparation of said Panchnama by the Revenue Inspector, Nayab Tehsildar and others, an objection was raised about Munar etc. and GPS proceedings. Proceeding ही है ना वो?
मैंने आईए के साथ तो सर जीपीएस भी लगाया हुआ है. इनफैक्ट
नहीं, हम आपका जीपीएस नहीं पढ़ेंगे, जवाब के साथ लगाना चाहिए. जीपीएस क्या लिखा है आगे, वर्ड क्या लिखा है पेज 15 पर आपके आईए के साथ में?
सर बाबू मुन्नारे जीपीएस
coordinates have not been mentioned.
जीपीएस कोऑर्डिनेट्स का उल्लेख नहीं किया गया है. जीपीएस कोऑर्डिनेट्स का उल्लेख नहीं किया गया है. इंग्लिश में लिख लीजिएगा. द कोऑर्डिनेट्स ऑफ जीपीएस हैव नॉट बीन मेंशन्ड, बट ओवरलुकिंग दिस ऑब्जेक्शन, लैंड वाज टेकन टू बी रेवेन्यू लैंड and therefore impugned order having been passed on incorrect premise deserves to be modified / recalled. Next para. When Shri Rohit Jain, learned government advocate, is asked to read from the reply which was filed by the state government to point out that this objection was taken in the return, that correct facts are not mentioned in the petition, then though Shri Rohit Jain has extraneously read para 5 and 6 of the reply, but nowhere in the reply there is mention of the document contained in IA1, that incomplete copy of said document was filed by the petitioner, and that the correct and also the respondents failed to bring the correct complete copy of the document as has been brought on record now. Full stop. Court is not required to look beyond the pleadings. Next para. Another aspect which has been already dealt with by this court while passing order dated 2/8/2023 is that even if for the sake of argument submission made by Shri Rohit Jain is accepted, then against said Sthal Panchnama, there is a provision for appeal before the superior revenue authorities, and if the forest officials were not in agreement with the Sthal Panchnama, then they were required to file an appeal before the superior revenue authorities, as the work of demarcation is entrusted to the revenue authorities and not to anybody else. Therefore, at this stage, looking at the new documents which were not part of the record and which were not brought on record by the respondent department while filing their reply, filed under the affidavit of one Shri Mahendra Pratap Singh, son of Shri R.P. Tagore, divisional, aged about 36 years, divisional forest officer, Sidi, comma, for the mistake of the said OIC or the department, which will be taken to be the mistake of the department, no indulgence can be shown on the basis of the documents filed along with IA. Full stop. Further, there is no application under Order 41 Rule 27 to bring new documents on record as has been sought by Shri Rohit Jain in this case. Full stop. Respondents, while filing IA for modification, were obliged to move an application under Order 41 Rule 27 CPC if they inclined to file any new documents. Full stop. They were required to show that why these documents could not be filed at earlier point of time. Thus, on the basis of the documents which were not the part of the record, no new indulgence is called for. IA for modification, recall, review fails and is dismissed. Respondent state to bear cost of this inconvenience to the petitioner, which is quantified at ₹5,000. They may recover the same from the concerned officer instead of debiting it to the public exchequer.
No, से एक
41-27 तो लगानी चाहिए थी ना. इतने विद्वान अधिवक्ता बैठे हैं आपके एजी ऑफिस में, इतना तो मालूम होगा ना कि नए डॉक्यूमेंट 41-27 से कैसे ले लिए जाएंगे. Every court is not subordinate to the state. We still maintain semblance of independence, not semblance of independence. We are independent, and the state should not take us for granted.
That is, I must humbly submit.
That's why I pointed out. That will help you.
I did not place reliance on any other document except what was there.
नहीं, you said that. इसमें लिख लीजिएगा.
So one
Rohit Jain
small-
comments that now the GPS coordinates etc. have been filed, but these documents cannot be taken into consideration.
One small submission.
हाँ.
of course. We have never said that they have.
Cost बढ़ती जाएगी.
नहीं, incorrect नहीं बोला बस मैंने उनके documents को, सिर्फ illegible बोला.
हाँ, illegible ही कर दिया था, करेक्ट कर दिया था.
Incorrect आ गया था.
हम करेक्ट कर देंगे उसको.
I am not alleging against the petitioner.
हाँ, चलिए illegible कर दीजिएगा. सरकार को कानून पढ़ाने के लिए थोड़ा ना बैठे हैं हम. आपके पास तो इतने विद्वान लोग हैं. 41-27 भी नहीं मालूम है.
ठीक.